Yeah, you're locked into DXB today. Thanks so much indeed for being part of the show as we delve into and investigate the importance of early childhood wellness and how to get that optimal wellness as well. Next guest is from the Abu Dhabi Early Childhood Authority, which promotes optimal child development and well-being, of course, from the early stages of pregnancy to the age of around about 8 or so. Please welcome their Chief Culture Officer and Senior Advisor, Layla Al Hassan. Layla, thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tom. Thank
Why?
you.
I mean, obviously there's a huge amount of research, as I said a little bit earlier on, that's got into early childhood, and let's use that sort of little time frame we did there. Why is it so important to invest into early childhood?
It's very important. All the research points to that early stage of life and how important it is to invest, because we've seen the positive outcomes later on in life. We've seen how the outcomes in terms of schooling, in terms of education, social development, when you invest early in a child's life. An investment can be like what Dima was talking about, quality time with the child, but it can also be early assessment of a child early on in life to ensure that, check if they have any developmental concerns. There's a lot of ways that parents and caregivers can invest in a child's life. I'll give you one example, Tom,
Yeah.
and I'll share a story actually of a real child here in the UAE. Let's call her Aisha. Aisha's 6 years old, typical 6-year-old, loves unicorns, pasta, right? Aisha lives with her single mother who just went through a high-risk type of divorce. Aisha's enrolled in school, but there's a lot of absence recorded. Aisha regularly goes to the hospital with injuries, and all the while people have moved on or looked away. Today, with the establishment of the Abu Dhabi Early Childhood Authority, we're looking at the early years from a holistic lens. People no longer look away, people no longer move on. Children like Aisha are being flagged in the system and identified as they need support. Their parents and family need support. And so we are in a really great position now here today in the UAE when it comes to the early years. This ecosystem has been strengthened and we're just really getting started. There's so much more to do. When we think of child protection, we talk about the importance of quality time with the child, but one of our priorities is to make sure our children are safe at home. And one of the things we've done is we've realized that people are the greatest resource when it comes to the fight against child abuse, maltreatment and neglect. And one of the first things we did was invest in training all the professionals that interact with children. So these are your healthcare professionals, your teachers, to really provide customized child protection training to them. A second thing we did was set up with our partners the Child Center. And this is a one-stop destination, a very discreet location that any family that has a child who has been through these situations can go and get the support they need, all the child protection services in one place. And this is really groundbreaking for child protection in the UAE. They can receive health services, victim support, case management, all in one discrete place, as opposed to previously where the child and their family had to visit multiple facilities, where they had to repeat their story and therefore the trauma is prolonged. So really some great steps being taken in this space here in the UAE. We're really proud of that.
So Layla, how have you found the reception with people? Because you've been established since 2019, right? So how's the numbers been? How's the reception been since then?
So in terms of the ecosystem, when it comes to early childhood, there are so many players in this space and so many partners. So one of our key roles has been to enable these partners, right? We're not just looking at better service provision, we're looking at really establishing advocates. Whether you're a parent or a healthcare professional or a teacher or someone in a decision-making capacity or a policymaker, we want advocates for the child. We want more of the voice of the child at the table, at the decision-making table. So the reception has been really, really encouraging, and we're seeing a lot of steps being taken.
And honestly, Layla, I wanted to ask you, you spoke about like the holistic approach, which is so important, early intervention, but what about children with determination? This is an area and a group, especially there's a huge focus on it now in the UAE. So is there any insights on that?
Very, very important group, and there's been a lot of effort. I'll give you just a few examples, right? So there's a lot of data being collected about children in general in the UAE, but no one was there really connecting the dots. And what I mean by that is someone who is really analyzing the data and looking at it from a holistic lens, data from about health and nutrition, child protection, working families. When it comes to children of determination, we estimate that there are more than 30,000 children just in Abu Dhabi alone that may have unidentified disabilities, right? And the key, Dima, is that we intervene early in a child's life, not when they reach school. So one of the things we've done is we've partnered up with 3 major hospitals in the UAE, and we're running a pilot surveillance and screening program. So far we've run over 5,000 developmental checkups on 0 to 3 years old. And out of that number, over 700 children have been identified with developmental concerns that need further investigation. Dima, those are 700 children who would have otherwise gone into schools, gone on with their lives. Their families would have been stressed and struggled and not understood, why is our child behaving that way? Or they may have been brushed off, your child will grow out of it. So with this system in place and with these partnerships that have been formed with these hospitals, there's so much more hope for these children moving forward.
That's really good to know, Layla. Thank you so much for sharing all this. And it's good to see that the Abu Dhabi Early Childhood Authority has been doing so much and will continue to do so much with partners here in the country for the children. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now,